Lawmakers who support U.S. aid to Ukraine are angry about a sobering weekend defeat in which they say President Biden faces an uphill battle to win more money amid deepening political divisions over Kiev, particularly in the House of Representatives. Senators from both parties who support Ukraine entered last weekend thinking they could defeat Senate bill that would avert shutdown and include giving $6 billion Ukraine through the House. Republicans in majority here have failed to unite on a single plan avert shutdown. In Senate, bipartisan bill appeared likely to pass, and advocates believed there would be heavy pressure on House GOP to pass it as clock ticked toward shutdown. Instead, Speaker Kevin McCarthy made a surprise announcement Saturday morning that he would introduce a neat stopgap to prevent the chamber from being shut down without Ukraine's help. He introduced the bill under suspension House rules, requiring two-thirds majority and effectively encouraging Democrats denouncing possible shutdown to oppose it because of lack funding for Ukraine, which would provide an opening for the GOP to support that country rather than Democrats' own claiming to side with them. It also caused gridlock in the Senate, including from GOP leader Mitch McConnell and other House Republicans who supported Ukraine aid and included it in their own stopgap measures. Ultimately, McConnell recommended that House vote against cloture on the Senate bill to see what it produced, and Democrats rallied around McCarthy bill. While 90 House Republicans voted against it, only one House Democrat, Rep. Mike Quigley, blamed Ukraine's lack of funding. This was a major victory for McCarthy, and it will likely make it harder for Ukraine to obtain financing in the future. McCarthy and other Republicans are now demanding that new money for Ukraine be tied policy changes, increase security at the U.S. Mexico border. It's a difficult issue that lawmakers have been trying to come to terms with for decades. Republicans especially want to make it harder for immigrants seeking asylum to stay in the United States. Tightening the country's asylum laws is unpopular with Democrats, who want some concessions on immigration in return, such as a path to citizenship for immigrants who come to the country at a young age. The lack funding for Ukraine has also been closely observed on other side of Atlantic. Just a week after Eastern European countries' President Volodymyr Zelensky made a dramatic visit to Washington to ask for support, there are concerns here about solution Ukrainian problem. Kiev's allies. Britain's public news service, the BBC, on Sunday described the lack of funding for Ukraine as a budget fiasco. Others said the Congress gave victory to Russian President Vladimir Putin. There was a lot of finger-pointing in the Senate. Some Senate Republicans who support more funding for Ukraine argued Monday that House Democrats should vote against McCarthy's clean measure. They say Demo.